Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to the And before I dive in, because I always forget, while you're listening and everything, if you feel like you understand some of the stories or information and things that I'm laying out, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, talking, mentioning some of your insight, input. And if you're a troll and you decide to slide in some of your bigotry, at least that allows some other people to know what we face on a daily basis. Because, you're just going to be helping me out by providing more proof of what a lot of us face on a daily basis, either being by race, disability, or LGBTQ, and all of the others. So, either way, thanks. And so, anyway, just know that I talk about current events. I spill the tea, like I spill all of my tea, especially about mental health, disability, not being diagnosed with my disability for over 36 years, and literally being mentally and physically ABUSC and things like that, and dating nightmares with screenshots. And oh, I have a Patreon where I'm loading some here and there. I ended up uploading quite a few days ago. I'm going to get back on that, but I'm trying to make sure I finish my novel to get part one published this year. So, yeah, I'm a very, very busy young woman. Or, well, some of these men say I'm not young, but hey, I'm breathing, I'm vibrant, and I have a lot to do. So, I will say I'm young enough to understand how valuable, how beautiful, and amazing life is, and that I am always going to continue to obtain new challenges to conquer. And a lot of men out here hate that about me, which I guess hate with a pinch of patty tastes wonderful. But okay. Anyways, here we go. Speaking of bigotry, okay. I don't know why. And I mean, no, I do know why, because I was brought up in the church. I was brainwashed in the very, very severely conservative upbringing and everything like that. So I can't say I don't, because I do. But I do have to congratulate myself for waking up and realizing how the Christian community in a lot of areas are some of the most toxic, harmful, terrible places that you can be, especially the groups that are in the DEI areas, including disability. And all around the US, we have Republican, Christian, MAGA Congress people trying to tell people where to go to the restroom. And yes, there's one for men and women. Then we have unisex, and then we have family. There's different types and everything. But then when you talk about the trans community, they're trying to tell them where they have to go. And they keep saying that it's for the safety of the children. When you look at the news, when you look at the stats, what they're scared of doesn't have, or well, it's not common. Because I'm not going to say it never happens, because I mean, if I don't know the percentage, but a lot of the times when I hear about the stories of children being harmed, it's by men, and a lot of times quote unquote straight men are men that are married to women, and or pastors and priests and people within the religion. And then they get found out, then they remove them from one congregation and take them on to another so that they can hide the history and hide the rumors and everything before things kind of go kablooey. And it's just sad and pathetic because the same group that needs to straighten out their reputation are the ones pointing fingers at people where you don't hear about that stuff about them. But then they want to talk about the entertainment that you see where people dress up and everything, and they try to accuse them of trying to get children into those atmospheres. No, there are some child friendly establishments, but not all of them are, and they don't try to force kids to go to them. And I think it's just really sad, sickening, and pathetic with how people, like, a community that is supposed to be based off of love, because even at my church, quote unquote, now quote unquote my church, because I've been looking for a new church home since going there for over 30 years. Well, when I was younger, I didn't have a choice, because even in college, when I would say that I wanted to try another church, ooh, I will never forget the harm that was placed on and the threat that was placed on me when I said that. But yeah, it's like going to the same church for over 30 years, and you would, I used to think, okay, they say these people are sinning out of love. They're trying to correct them. They're trying to, like, but no, I had to wake up and be like, no, the leaders are just have some bigotry in their minds and their heads and everything. It's like, because okay, some people are going to disagree with me and I don't even care, because I kind of think of it this way. Would I want to marry a man who had to be brainwashed and had to be forced to love a woman? Would I want someone who had to pray the gay away and pray to be quote unquote Christian normal? To pray to not sin in the eyes of the congregation or the Bible, when you look at that scripture, like, yes, like, I'm not even gonna get, like, yeah, I'm not even gonna, but it's amazing because how many pastors have, because it's like, if you haven't heard, oh, I've heard so many. And I keep saying I'm going to do this episode and do that. Like, I have over like 300 episodes I need to catch up on. But there are so many stories where we keep hearing about pastors doing just what they are claiming the LGBTQ community of doing. And then, like, a lot of them scare the child until they're an adult, or like the parents are like, don't you bring this up, or they don't believe them. And so some of them stay quiet. Some of them, when they get older, they move churches, and or they just know, okay, I don't want to put my church in shame, so I'm not going to say anything. But so we have all of these churches around, and like, so many of them have naughty pasts, or even might be present too, but anyway. Because even with the Boy Scout documentary, I need to look up and watch that documentary again. It's on Netflix, and I watched the whole thing. And do you know how many times they kept saying, like, this person was a pastor, this person's a pastor, this person, like, and I'm just like, for the love of, like, what? And then even there was another like, yeah, I love documentaries, but the one that was based off of a similar school that Paris Hilton went to, the one that was just brainwashing and just, it was like, that one has a lot of Republican leaders that fund it, and like some of the people are even from the church that help with it or whatever. And so sometimes I'm just like, The Christian community, they have like this front, and they try to claim how great and amazing and how loving they are. But then I keep seeing the hate. I keep seeing the judgment and the disgusting behavior, and them yelling and screaming. Like, if you are against people being LGBTQ, that's one thing. But then you're trying to force them to be like you because to you you're normal, like because you decided to fit the cookie cutter of the church, but only the parts of the cookie cutter that you decided. Because okay, when we look at some of these Republicans who keep acting like they're scared of the LGBTQ community, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, oh my gosh, Lauren Boebert ran out that restroom. Oh, like, to me, I'm just like, girl, really? Girl. Poor, uneducated, naive, ooh, bigoted self. But that's all in my opinion. That's all in my opinion. Anyway, people are running out of restrooms, trying to get people in trouble, trying to accuse people of being trans. And I've had people try to call me trans, especially on dating apps and things like that, because I'm not going to act like the little Christian girl like they want me to be, because I'm not going to be submissive and or tolerate and date them. Yeah, because on my dating profile, I say I will not date a Republican, a MAGA, or 47 president lover, whatever. I will not. And so some of them tell me that I must be trans because of that. And or they try to talk to me because they say that I don't know any better and that they have to teach me, and that I seem like a great woman, but I just don't realize that I need an alpha man in my life. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have all the screenshots. It's like they're scattered all in my phone, but I'm downloading them, I'm getting them, but it's just crazy because do you know how many of these men have accused me because I will not act like a poor like princess in the tower that needs to be saved? And because because I invest money, men have accused me of being trans because I invest, or at least I enjoy, like, I've taken a break right now, but it's like I have a great credit score and I'm working on it because I want it to be I want it to be stupendous. I want it to be absolutely amazing, where there is no right or reason why I can ever get denied the best rates and everything. So, but I get judged for that. And also, like, with some of the music that I listen to, are like I've it's crazy how, like, with all of this alpha man, in order to be a man, and this behavior, a lot of these men are just acting like women need to go back into the kitchen and make them dinner when the man doesn't even make enough money to get the groceries to make the dinner with, in all honesty. Or the woman has to work the job to go buy the groceries to go make the dinner because the guy doesn't either work enough hours, he doesn't know how to manage his money, or he owes child support because, or alimony from his previous. And I'm gonna have another episode about the whole divorce thing, because states are making it 2, 3, 5 times more difficult to get a divorce when enough men are already eliminating their wives when they decide to cheat or leave them, or they don't want to have to pay them alimony, or like they don't want, if they have two houses, they don't want the what current wife to have one of the houses, or they want the kids all to themselves. So what do? They eliminate them. And so now they're trying to make it harder to get a divorce. More men are just going to do the same thing. And I'm not saying all women are innocent from it. So it's like, so yeah, either or, it can happen on either side, but a lot more men are doing it. And a lot more men, like, people keep saying women are emotional and everything, but when a man, when anybody eliminates somebody, that takes emotion. And a lot of men who try to eliminate their current wife or girlfriend or whatever, that takes emotion. That's heavy emotion. So whenever I hear men say that it is quote unquote gay to be emotional and stuff like that, mind blown, because I'm just like, how ignorant and stupid and poorly educated. Oh, you're poorly educated, huh? I know who you voted for. I know who you voted for. But they're trying to create these laws around the US right now. And it's just terrifying because people just want to go to the bathroom. That's just a bodily thing that we need to do. And especially for the trans community, it's like when they go to the restroom, the trans women especially, like, how about if someone tries to pick on them or fight them, or are the police going to be by their side? Because I'm learning a lot about the police lately, especially since Black Lives Matter, but it's been a part two, like, over the last 2 months, because it's like I'm realizing, I'm just now learning that the police are not paid to protect us, to save us. They're here to protect, like, the unit of a city and everything, but not personally. But then we all know the history of American police. American police started because of slavery. The police they started their jobs as catch the slaves, bring them back, because that's money running. So we all know this, right? If you don't know, then you need to really get a good history book, not one of those Republican, like, whitewashed books. And that's the funny thing. The history that they're trying to teach right now, they're ridiculous. They're ridiculous. Full of lies, full of half truths, full of nonsense, full of ignorance. Oh, they're ignorant. Okay, anyway. And if this hurt, then that means I might be talking about you. If it doesn't hurt, perfect. Let's keep going. But when it comes to the bathrooms, people are just trying to go to the restroom. I mean, like, even I could just kind of think of, let's just have family bathrooms or whatever. I mean, that means we're gonna have all stalls because, like, yeah, especially with some of these men, they don't want to show how inadequate or how small they are. Yeah. Some men might be like, I mean, there might be some lawsuits then, because yeah, some men might decide to be jerks, and yeah, so yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's complicated. It's complicated, but either that, or why can't we have male, female, family in all establishments? Because I want to think of a way where we can all be safe, and I want them to feel safe. Because if a trans person does go into the restroom, I don't know, like, and especially like some of the news that I've been seeing, there was this one woman. She is a woman. She's not trans. She's a woman. She went to a restroom in Las Vegas, and a woman had the nerve to, I think she did harm her a little bit or strike her, but it got to the point where they had to call the Las Vegas police and or security and stuff. And it's like the woman had to say, I am a woman. I was born a woman. And the other, like, well, you need to prove it. I don't think you're a woman. And it was just like, are you kidding me? Like, now do we have to pull up our skirts or dresses and pull down our pants to show you what we're born with? Do we have to do that? Do I have to put your hand on my chest to show you? If that's the case, oh no, you're gonna pay if you have, no, that ain't free. These aren't free. I got high quality stocks right here. They're not free. Anyway, I mean, just the thought that it's just going to the restroom. That's what I keep thinking. It's just a bodily thing that like we all need to eat, and we all need to release what we have consumed and drink and everything. That's all. Like that's just part of the human cycle and everything. And then with women on the monthly, on our cycles, we need to go in there and take care of business so that we can turn around and go and continue our day. That's it. That's all. And it's frustrating because I keep seeing the hate from the Christian side. That's why I brought it up at the beginning. They're judging and they're hateful. But then while they're judging and hateful, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I forgot the other woman's name who she's like a little dancy or whatever. She can't even have her hand shaken or she's going to be harmed or injured. Like, stupid. Anyway. But in my opinion, and that's in my opinion, but these ladies get divorced. Not, I don't think the third, I don't know if the third one got divorced or whatever, the one with the handshake. But I know the first two, Marjorie and Lauren, yeah, they get divorced, and then both of them do some things that are just like non-empathetic. Like they have no empathy, sympathy, compassion, or anything. But then they're supposed to be Christian. They're supposed to be Christian, but they have none in them. This is all in my opinion. Every episode, all of this information, all in my opinion. And then we all know about what happened with Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. I won't say it at the, maybe I'll say it at the end. You never know. But whenever I hear that title, whenever I hear that name, I think of her and her the just the terrible behavior. Because even with her smoking the hookah, or it's like she was doing something, like she was puffing on something in there. I forgot what it was. Like, because I was like, no, it's like it wasn't hookah. I don't think, I don't think they have the small bite-sized versions of those. But then there was a pregnant woman who was asking her to stop, and part of me was just like, if you're a Christian woman, wouldn't you respect those around you and out of love be compassionate to be like, you know what, I am gonna stop. I am just gonna, and you're not going to continue acting like a child, being a complete mess, and then during it, you're going to allow your date to have his hands all over you, and there's children. And that's the thing, there were children in there. In the theater, there were children. People keep saying that LGBTQ are trying to brainwash children. No, they love. They love. They just don't love in the cookie cutter way that you love. And it's just, and actually, there's another story that I wasn't gonna bring up. I wasn't gonna do an episode on, but you guys have such an issue with LGBTQ community, and you always blame them and put stuff on them and say that it's a sin and they're going to hell. But then while you're doing your sinning and while you're doing different things that a lot of pastors would say is a sin as well, and no sin is over another. But what about the story? There's this one 22-year-old so-called rapper or whatever. I forgot what state he's in. It's like I want to say a state, but it's like I don't want to offend people if I'm wrong. And those people are like, "Why you say our state? Why you say our state?" And I'm like, "My bad. Oops. Okay." But there's a 22-year-old person, young. Uh, I can't even call him a man. A young person who he's expecting 5 children this year. I'll repeat that. He is expecting 5 children this year. He has impregnated 5 women, and he's proud of it. They're happy, and the women are even doing like in pictures and news articles and stuff like that. And are any pastors going to talk to him? I mean, or are they going to just look at him like Nick Cannon? Because part of me was like, did anyone ever talk to Nick Cannon about what he was doing? Yeah, I've mentioned him in a couple episodes about this because to me it's disgusting. It's like a lot of men keep wanting to put down women and call women certain things and everything, but then they want to treat us like property at the same time. They want to devalue us at the same time. And then I remember he did an interview talking about why he got divorced from Mariah, and it was because like, yeah, she is like her diamond was shining but like a little brighter than his and he couldn't take it. And I'm just like, you begged this woman to be in a relationship with you. It's like you even in an interview, like I'm just, oh. But a lot of men out here, because that's another reason why a lot of men try to accuse me of being trans, because since I started my podcast, write my children's books, I'm going to have my novel up later this year, and I've got poetry, and I have a lot of different things. I'm going to have my Etsy store up by spring. I mean, it's up, but I'm going to have a lot more stuff to the point where I'm like, yes, it's a full-blown store now, and my website. But a lot of men say this is not what women are supposed to do. I am supposed to be a good little girl and just focus on finding a husband, having his babies, and taking care of his children. And they say it's not ladylike, it's not a woman. I'm not a real woman because I'm not going to go down that path. I'm going to adopt because these men don't care about me. Most of the men that I did date, they just try to use me. And a lot of men out here who want a woman, a lot of them now listening to Fox News, the same channel who says that if a man goes grocery shopping with a woman, something's wrong with him, or they shake their head and insult them. I was just like, that's, to me, that's bonding time. That's a time where you can even crack jokes and laugh and just spend time. Like, you're going down the aisles and you can pick out different foods and different treats and maybe even look up new recipes on the phone and be like, ooh, let's make this, and get the groceries and stuff like that. It's like, why should the woman do that on her own? It's like you're making grocery shopping sound like it's a woman's job when it's not. How dare, like, just how dare. It's like, so when it comes to the alpha male, when it comes to being a woman, it's like with the bathrooms, part of me just feels like, what are we gonna do? Are you gonna make us scan something in order to go to the bathroom? Like, what are you gonna do? And people just want to go to the restroom, and people keep saying that the trans community want to do certain things, and it's far from true. It's disgusting how they keep putting that community down, while the people, like, we keep, or I keep hearing straight men get busted doing the same exact thing they keep trying to put on the trans community. How dare you? How dare you? But anyway, this is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too. And the trans community is human too. Can we just show some love, compassion, empathy, sympathy, some respect, something for them? I mean, you don't have to live their life to just know that they're human. They just live a little differently than you. They don't fit that cookie cutter. And maybe that's why I love and adore them more. They are brave enough to not be forced to live in a cookie cutter.